What is up, YouTube? Thrift School over here, and I'm sitting here in my office. You can see there's stuff all over the place, but I was looking at all of my bins of clothing that are right over here, and I was thinking, what are some of these things that I've had listed for a year, 2 years, or more, and why did I buy these at the time? Why are they still sitting here? Are they priced too high? Or maybe they were just bad buys. So pretty much I want to go through a few of these items with you, show you guys things that have been listed for so long, go over the prices that I have them listed at. If I could figure out what I paid for them, that would be nice. It would be very helpful to have an Excel spreadsheet. Granted, I'm not that organized, but I will try to go through as much of I can, as much of the information as I can with you guys, see if these were just some bad buys. So let's jump right into it. So as you guys can see, my storage units is, or not the storage units, but well, I guess they are units. How I keep all my clothes storaged is not really the best way. I kind of have polos in here. I got some button-ups in there. I got sports-related stuff in here. I think that says Rutgers. There's Champion, just stuff like that. Over here, we're looking at brown button-ups. Over there, that's more like jackets. Up here, we got the LL Bean on the bottom, and then random stuff just thrown on top. So I got a bunch of random stuff. I really do need to reorganize this stuff. But for now, let's go through it. Let's grab a couple items out of here, see how long they've been listed, what I have them priced at, and see why they're not selling. Alright, so I grabbed 5 different items from the inventory. Really, I grabbed, what, 7 different items? Because one of these items is a multi-listing, and I really wanted to touch on that because I've done multi-listings before, and what I mean by that is maybe 2 of the same brand of shirt that are the same size. So I list them together under one listing to try to get a little bit more money, save on shipping costs, and just ship 2 out, right? And so I did that with these ties. This is gonna be the first item we go over. So right in this bag, you can see how I have them organized. I'm actually gonna open this bag up. I'll use a new bag afterwards. I'll just rip it, whatever. And I keep a lot of my inventory in these poly bags because it saves them from getting dirty and musty. And I mean, it's not really gonna get musty in here, but it saves them from getting dirty. I have a dog with dog hair. I don't want that floating around, possibly getting stuck on something. Some people have dog allergies. I don't know. I just really like to try and keep these things clean. So put them all into a bag, and now they're all in these other little bags. I'm not gonna take them out of these little bags, but you can see right here, that's one of the designs. That's another design. We got some giraffes and we got some monkeys. So what brand is this? Salvatore Ferragamo. Now this brand used to sell for a very good amount of money. It still does sell for a pretty decent amount of money. So I figured I would just list all 3 of them, throw them up for $100 or best offer. I was at one point getting around $35 to $40 per tie if it was Salvatore Ferragamo. So I figured 100 bucks. That's gonna save that person a little bit of money, and I have best offer. I mean, heck, I would take a $70 offer. Well, I've had these ties listed for over a year and they haven't moved. Why is that? Now, possibly the person only wants one of these styles. I've never gotten a message specifically asking for it, but I think what I'm going to do to help these move, relist them each as an individual. Hopefully that'll help it move. I know I've had other items that are still in my inventory over there that I have 2 of the same brand of shirt, and it's just harder to move like that for some reason for me. I see a bunch of other YouTubers that they recommend doing that. If you find a bunch of the same brand, all the same size, try to lot them up. For me, it hasn't really been helpful. I've maybe sold something like that 5 times total out of the hundreds and even thousands of pieces of clothing I've sold over the years. So I kind of recommend against listing them all together. So what I'm going to do is relist these 3 ties as a single listing each, so 3 listings total, and hopefully that helps move up the sale. Now, I don't think these were bad buys. I know the title of this video is Bad Buys, but I don't think these were bad buys. I think it was a bad decision to list them all together. Now let's get on to something that was probably a bad buy. Right here we have a very basic button-down shirt. Now, if this was a very popular brand, okay, yeah, but I mean, it's still a good brand. I'll show you guys right here. LL Bean. So this is a good brand of clothing, but in their button-down plain shirts like this, it's not really worth much. When I first started thrifting, I saw the brand LL Bean. I knew it was worth a little bit of money, so I would just grab them. I probably paid $5 for this, guys. That is way too much to pay for something like this. I wouldn't even spend $2 on this right now. Hopefully you guys can see right now I'm going through the eBay page and I'm going through the listings to show you guys how often these LL Bean shirts are selling. And this is just a regular traditional fit LL Bean button down. Now, I've had this also listed for over a year, and it just will not move. And you could see based off of these prices how much I can expect to get for it, how often I could expect this to sell. It's not very often, it's not for a lot of money, so it was pretty much a bad buy, and this is something I highly recommend staying clear from. The only exception to the rule would be if it's made out of something other than just cotton, and if it has a very interesting design. Those two reasons are, I mean, I've sold lots of LL Bean wool, I've sold LL Bean with a wool blend, but just the 100% cotton button downs, I have a little bit of a hard time moving them. So I would chalk that off as a bad buy. Item number 3 is a Pendleton. And Pendleton is a great brand to keep an eye out for. Now, the issue with this brand is a lot of them get holes and tears and moth holes and bites and everything through them, and they get damaged. And a lot of times at the thrift store, I kind of glance over things and I forget to double and triple check that piece of clothing if the price is good enough. Now, this brand is a good buy. Granted, in the summer months, the price drops drastically. In the winter months, the price goes up because it's a wool shirt. People want the wool for winter. Now, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but you could see right here on the collar. All right, didn't really show up on camera, but there are a bunch of these little holes kind of right in the main collar. I could even see them right down along the buttons, just these really little holes. And you know, sometimes you can get away with selling them, and I've sold lots of Pendletons with holes in them and tears and things like that. But this one maybe has too many because it has been listed for so long. So guys, I will chalk this off as a bad buy only because of how much damage there was to this. I listed it, thought maybe I'll get some money for it, even if it's 15 bucks. I'll make $1 or $2 after all fees and shipping just to, you know, get some money, but it will not move, possibly because of all the damage to it. So I will definitely say this is a bad buy. Remember, when you're going through the thrift stores, try to look over every piece of the clothing. When I first started, I would sometimes, you know, glance over, look for stains, and you know what I forgot to look for? These little buttons right here where the collar is. You see the collar, there's 2 little buttons there. I would forget about those sometimes, and a lot of shirts, those buttons are cracked on. There we go. Same thing with the sleeve buttons. You want to make sure they're all there, and these little things start to add up when you get home and you're like, oh, this one has a cracked button, this one has holes in it, this one has stains in it, and you're gonna make these mistakes, especially if you're just starting out. But I'll write this off as a bad buy. Hopefully it sells. Had it listed for about a year, hasn't moved, so who knows what's gonna happen there. Next, we have something that I thought was going to be a good buy. I thought it was gonna sell pretty fast. The brand is Nike. You can see the Nike right there. It's actually made by Nike, but I believe it's Tiger Woods. If I can get there. Oh no, it's just Nike Golf. So this is just a golf polo. It's pretty basic, right? Just a basic golf polo. I think I paid $2 for this, and it even says Nike Golf on all the buttons. So hey, you know, not bad for $2. If I could get 15, 20 bucks out of it, I'm happy. Even 15 bucks is fine. Now, I've had this listed for a long time. No wear, no nothing. It just will not move. I've had it on sale, 10% off, 15% off. As high as 25% off. I've run my whole store on that type of sale, and it just won't sell. Now, hopefully you guys are seeing the screen again. You could see how many of these are listed, how many of them sell, and you know, they don't sell super often. This isn't a super popular style, the white with the green stripes. It's not crazy enough. You want to look for these really cool patterns and all this awesome stuff when you're out thrifting. Try to stay away from the really plain Jane whatever polos. And of course, brands matter. You got to take the brand into account. Nike is a very popular brand, but you can get brand new Nike polos at TJ Maxx for 15 bucks. So why is somebody gonna be buying this used one on eBay for $15 to $20? Just doesn't make sense. That was a bad buy. Now, I wanna quickly reiterate and say that, you know, maybe this wasn't a bad buy, but for the price that I wanna get out of it, it is a bad buy. Now, if you get this from the bins, the Goodwill outlet, where you're paying 50 cents for this thing, and you sell it for 10 bucks, 11 bucks, 9 bucks, right? Shipped, you're still gonna make profit on it. You're still gonna make money. So you'll see a bunch of other YouTubers that get a lot of their inventory from the Goodwill outlets, and they get their inventory really cheap. This could be a great buy for them. But for me, for what I paid for it, I said I paid $2. I might have even paid as high as, you know, $3, which really doesn't sound like that much, but $3 plus $4 shipping, just about, starts to really cut into profits after fees. You're only making a buck or two. So you really wanna be careful with that. Next and final, I have this sweater right here that I cannot move, and I've seen other thrifters buy this exact same sweater, and I don't know if anybody else has been able to sell it. I see it on Instagram every once in a while. It pops up in the thrift store. I've seen it a few times myself, but I bought this a long time ago. It is a Civil War sweater. The whole map of America is on there, during the Civil War that is, and shows all the battles. It was a pretty cool sweater. I paid up for this thing, guys. It's a medium, so it's a regular size. I mean, maybe if it was a bigger size, it would sell better. I think a medium's an okay size to sell online, but I think I paid close to $10 for this, thinking I'd be able to get, you know, $35, $40. No, not gonna happen. So I'm not sure why this won't sell. I think it's unique, but I also think because I've seen it at thrift stores twice, I've seen other people pick it up, there's just too many of them, right? So the competition's there. People are just gonna price it lower and lower, and since I paid so much for this, I wanted to get a little more out of it. Now, it's a sweater, it's heavier, it's gotta ship priority mail, so you're already looking at $6 to $7 to ship this thing. Definitely a bad buy. Didn't really do my research into it. You definitely wanna go onto eBay, look up the completed listings, look up the sold listings when you're buying pieces of clothing, right? And this is just eBay. I've made bad buys when it comes to Amazon as well, because I scan something, I don't properly look at the listing, and I get home and it's a different item than what I bought. I've had that happen numerous times, so maybe we'll do an Amazon video next, my bad Amazon buys, because I have stuff sitting on this shelf back here that I had to get sent back from Amazon that I'm trying to sell on eBay. Same thing with my closet right over here. I have stuff that I just can't move on Amazon, trying to move it on eBay, and sometimes it works out. It's been insane, the stuff that sells online, guys. All this stuff can definitely sell. Anything will sell on eBay, but for what I paid for it, for how I listed these items, just bad buys. My price range, bad buys. Hopefully I could help you guys and avoid these mistakes that I made, and maybe you will then be able to not do what I did wrong, and you'll make some more money. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, comment down below if you have any questions at all, subscribe if you haven't already. This is Thrift School, signing out. See ya.